Hello, we're here on Kingdom Upon Us, and I've got Jacob here, and so I asked him for a Jesus story. And what are you going to be talking about today?
How I came to found Christ. I was a former atheist. Basically, I was born into the Catholic Church. Went to Sunday school, Bible study, everything that you would do. When I was 12, my aunt passed away, and at that time I started having questions as to why that would happen. Why would a loving God allow that to happen? In the midst of all that, I was going through, both my parents had been through 6 divorces. I didn't have much function in my family, and I started to lose complete faith in God. And then about probably 13, 14 years old, I was completely an atheist. I had no belief that there was a God. I didn't have any interest in finding God, and I just kind of lived my life that way. So when I turned, I don't know, probably 18, my best friend's father was a pastor at Gateway out in Blue Springs, and I started going over there. I had known Joey, his name's Joey, and I had known Joey before.
Really good dude.
Absolutely. But we never talked about God. And for some reason, he just started mentioning God. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, Joey, like, you know I'm an atheist. You know I don't believe in this. I don't know why you're starting to preach to me. He wasn't even preaching. He was just mentioning God. And so he invited me to church one Sunday. And, you know, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, why am I here? I don't even believe in this. Like, why am I here? There's no reason. And so I went home just another day, and he started inviting me over more and more, and we started talking about it. And come about 2 years past that, so this was 2013, he passed away from cancer. And I would say he was a springboard for me to come back and find God. I started reading the Bible. I had really no reason to. I just started reading it, and I started praying. I was like, okay, and this is what my prayer would be. Okay, God, I really, I don't believe in you, but
Was it really?
Yeah, but here I am, and hopefully you can reach out to me. In the midst of all this, you know, not only was I an atheist, I was doing drugs. Anything you can think of that could get you high, that's what I was doing. And I felt like I had a huge hole in my spirit, and I didn't know how to fill it. Drugs wasn't working, girls, baseball, as much as I loved it, playing college, that didn't do it for me. And I was very emotional. I made rash emotional decisions. And so, you know, I started praying, and little by little, I started acquiring more interest. And Zach, Joey's kid, we started talking about all this, and he started, I guess you'd say, mentoring me as far as my walk with Christ. And fast forward, now, like, I'm a full-time believer. I believe, I mean, like I said, I read the Bible all the time. I'm doing ministering middle school kids. Go to church every Sunday, all the 9 yards. I don't really have a need to even like do drugs anymore. I don't have that craving, that addictive craving that you have. If any of you done drugs, you understand what I'm saying. And I'm also backpedal a little bit. I'm a why guy. I don't just have faith. I need to know why, as I should believe in God. So if any of you ever have any questions as far as why there's a God, come to me, because I can help explain it to you. Tim Keller, he's the man too. Start watching some of his stuff. So if you're a very logical person, I would say. For the faith people, man, tip my hat off to you. I wish I could be like you guys, but I can't. So that's my story.
when I pulled up in the parking lot here to have lunch with Jacob, he was sitting there reading his Bible. It made me just feel just happy to see that, man. Carry a Bible around with you, and it's also protection. There's been cars that burn totally to the ground, apartment buildings that catch on fire, and they find Bibles untouched by the fire. So carry one in your car with you in case if you're waiting on somebody that's late for lunch.
Exactly. Especially if you drive a Prius like myself, you're going to need all the protection you can get.
He does have a Ducks Unlimited bumper sticker on the back on the Prius.
Right.
So I would think that's a little bit of protection in itself that nobody's going to jack with you.
Absolutely.
But Jacob, thank you so much for sharing your testimony today. Tough testimony to share, but and that is the kingdom upon us. Thank you. God bless.